Well, the adjournment was formally moved by Minority Leader Osahin Alexander Kwamena Apenyo Markin, who described the atmosphere in the House as one shock and grief, and called for a moment of reflection and respect.
You are paid, but like we say, God knows best. Speaker, I just checked the background of this young man, born 1984, pursued his first degree, and per his public records, he's pursued 3 second degrees: an MBA in corporate government, an LLB in law, MSc in defense and international politics, served previously as a security manager, proud to join in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, a lot can be said. For now, I would want to leave it here by way of the credentials he brought to this house. The Speaker, his records in this house, both at the plenary and committee levels, are quite profound and are known to all. Above all, this brother had all that anybody would want to have in a brother. He lived the prayer of this house, quote, "A country of righteousness where none shall wrong his neighbor," unquote. No one can ever say that in his few months in this chamber, he was controversial or wronged colleagues. He was always there, every day happy and all. Mr. Speaker, this house is aware that today we program a couple of business.
First up, well,
the majority leader informed us last week of business for this week.
Well,
it is the prayer this side of the house, the MPP Minority Caucus of 88, regrettably -1, to pray with the indulgence of the leader of the house that today's proceedings be terminated as we observe a minute of silence in his honor. The Speaker, it's a very sad day to a family, to a constituency, to democracy, to parliament, and to the people of God. We know not when any of us may receive the summons. Colleagues, let's take heart and continue with our service. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate this treasure space. Break this unfortunate news. I do so with a lot of regret and a lot of hesitation, but it's my duty to be the bearer of it.
So that's the minority leader and also the member of parliament for Futu constituency in the central region, Osahin Alexander Kwamena Apenyo Markin. The majority leader, Mahama Yarga, on his part, described Mr. Kumi's passing as a devastating loss to the house.
One of his age were moved, and to be taken away from us at this stage in his life is not only a loss to his family, it's not only a loss to Fatia's constituency, it's a loss to Ghana, because we don't know where he would have ended up in terms of the leadership of this country, and we will never know what we have missed by losing him so early in his political career. I believe that this house has suffered a terrible blow, and it's a kind of blow that when we take, you can't stand. Even sitting will be a problem. And so I join my colleague to appeal to colleagues here and I don't know this weekend. But we do take an adjournment for today, and tomorrow we can come back and put ourselves together to be able to conduct public business. I know this is not a time for reading tributes. The family is still struggling to come to terms with what has happened. His constituency is still struggling to come to terms with what has happened. But we wish them, we extend our condolences to them, and our prayers are with them, and as a house, we are with them in this period of extreme grief, but they must be suffering now. And it is not the minority caucus that has lost. It is this parliament that has lost. Because he was a member of the House before he was a member of the minority caucus. So, Mr. Speaker, I join my colleague to pray for the adjournment so that we can all go back and put ourselves together.
So that's the majority leader in Parliament and also the MP for Boko Central, Mahama Yarga. They're also speaking on the floor of Parliament. Well, first Deputy Speaker Ben Anahiafo, in granting the motion, said the House was deeply saddened by the news, extending condolences to the family, constituents, and the entire New Patriotic Party caucus in Parliament.
Members, may we observe a mini silence. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Members, I will therefore put a question for adjournment. As many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The House is accordingly adjourned till Tuesday, the 8th day of July 2025 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And that's our first Deputy Speaker, Berala, here for their granting the motion. Let me go on the phone line and speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Avila Kekeli. Kekeli, good to have you on 505. Very sad moments in Parliament earlier today. But first, currently, what are some of the members of Parliament saying as far as the death of their colleague is concerned?
It is a statement full of emotion, full of sorrow, full of sadness, filled with shock as members of Parliament House today, both from the minority and the majority side, expressed sorrowful reactions concerning the demise of their colleague, Ernest Kumi.
I see. What do we know as far as the Member of Parliament is concerned? Has there been an official communique from the family to the House so far?
The incident just occurred today, so there's no official communication to the House yet. But the Member of Parliament for the Winneba, that is the minority leader, read a formal statement on the floor of Parliament, drawing the House's attention to the demise of a member of their caucus, which is the minority caucus, after which is formally moved a motion for the House to be adjourned to enable members of Parliament to mourn their beloved colleague. So, but as we stand now, we've not had any formal communique from the family.
I see. You spoke to some members of Parliament. What were they saying as far as their colleague is concerned?
They've all been expressing shocks, and a lot of them are really sad. Some of them don't even want to speak at all. But then one key thing they stressed on, which is something they've been stressing on over and over again, has to do how members of Parliament have to really take their health seriously, because as it stands, that is what is actually one of the biggest problems here in Parliament. The work is very tedious, moving up and down and all that. So as they express sorrow, they are also cautioning themselves as to how they need to take their health seriously.
Very unfortunate, sad, and especially when I just left the hospital a few hours ago, and seeing his lifeless body is terrible. We just have to take care of our health and love ourselves. I mean, all that he labored for is no more. He can't even hear what we are saying, and it's sad. Condolences to him, to his constituency, to the family, young wife. We just pray that the Lord keeps him and keeps the family.
It's a very sad news that has actually hit Parliament, and then some of us, especially I, had a personal engagement with him on Wednesday, and that was just the first time I've known him in Parliament, but I had a very long conversation with him. So hearing about his death this morning, it was a bit surprising to me, but however, we all know that anytime death is coming, we are not very much aware of it. But it tells us something, that we are in this life, and then we should just appreciate everyone that comes our way, because you don't know when you're living. And as my brother said, it's important as members of Parliament we take very good care of our health, because the work is quite demanding, and we're always focused on how well to make others look, others feel better. It's sad. I don't know how to describe it. I can only wish the family condolence, and then also pray that the good Lord will grant his gentle soul a perfect rest. It's a very unfortunate news to us. I've actually, when I saw the news this morning, I've actually not been, because I asked myself, it could be me. Because this is a very young person just like myself, and it's very devastating. I think it's a very sad news.
So that's some members of parliament expressing sadness there. So that's a very worry one, and I can tell you that in the constituency currently, it's more sad in the constituency as we speak, and we'll be touching base with our reporter up here in the constituency currently as we speak, because it's been tears of tears in the constituency. I'm talking about the Akwetia constituency as we speak, but we want to find out more about who this man really was during his service in Parliament. My colleague Elizabeth Edu joins me in studio. This is a very hard moment, we can say, in Parliament and also in the constituency, because what we are picking up from the constituency, his residents in the constituency, it's a very sad one. My colleague Elizabeth Edu joins me in studio. Lizzie, what do we know about the late Member of Parliament for Akwetia constituency?
Okay, so the Member of Parliament for Akwetia, that's Ernest Kumi, is a 40-year-old lawmaker who is supposed to turn 41 in December this year. Who represents the New Patriotic Party. He reportedly died today from allegedly a heart attack. So he does come days after he was seen actively participating in parliamentary proceedings. We are going to do a little background from his educational and professional background to his political career. So I'm starting with his education and professional background. So he had a master's in defense and international politics from the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. He had an MBA in corporate governance from UPSC and LLB from the Mount Crest University College, and a Bachelor of Science in Port and Shipping Administration from the Regional Maritime University. When we go to his political career and legal controversies, he started his political career in 2023, where he defeated Amase in the MPP primaries. He went on to win the Akwetia seat in 2024 general election with over 19,000 votes, beating the NDC representative, that is Henry Yadomboache. However, his election victory has been contested in court. The Koforidua High Court issued an injunction preventing him from being sworn in as a Member of Parliament, but he defied that and went ahead to be sworn in. That's on January 7, 2025, prompting a contempt charge. A bench warrant was later issued after he failed to appear in court, and a letter from the Minority Caucus attempting to excuse his absence due to parliamentary duties was also rejected. His legal status was still under review when his tragic incident broke. So we are looking at the next step right now. He's gone. What is going to happen? So his death now needs probably going to be a by-election
in the constituency
in Akwetia, because the seat will be officially declared vacant by the Electoral Commission. So you're expecting the EC to announce it in the coming days. Until then, the people for Akwetia are left without any Member of Parliament representing them in Parliament. So right now the seat is vacant. So when the by-election starts to happen, that's when we will see if the NDC will still bring their candidates to contest, or they will just let it go like that of the late JB Dankwa, when the NDC decided to back out to allow the MPP take on their own course. So we are still moving to see what will happen next, now that the news has... Of
course, the Electoral Commission would have to make an official statement that the seat is vacant, therefore calling for a by-election in the constituency. So
now that there were some legal issues before his passing, we will still want to find out if the NDC, the parliamentary candidate then, who was contesting for Akwetia on the ticket of the NDC, would like to still go in to contest, or maybe because the sad incidents have happened, they'll just allow the NPP to run their own internal elections to elect somebody to represent them. same as what happened with John Kuma, that was last year.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, John Kuma died on the 7th of March, that's 2024. And this sad issue also happened exactly on 7th January in July, that is July 2025.
I see.
So the number seems
7.
The 7th number
Anyway.
in the NPB. I don't think that's a number they are going to be forgetting anytime
Anyway,
soon.
thank you, Elizabeth Edu, for giving us a brief profile about the late Ernest Kumi. Let me take you to the Eastern Region, Akutia constituency, to be precise. My colleague Apia Kubi is our Eastern Regional reporter. He joins me on the phone. Apia, not too of a good evening at this moment. I can hear some tears at the background. Where exactly are you? What can you tell us as far as the death of this MP is concerned?
Hello, Kwame.
Yes, I can hear you. What exactly can you tell us?
The line was very faint. Yeah, Kwame, as we speak, I'm currently here in the Akwetia constituency, and precisely the constituency capital here in Akwetia, in front of the party office, where we have few party members and sympathizers of the New Patriotic Party gathered here, mourning the sudden demise of their member of parliament, now Ernest Kumi, who barely has been in parliament for almost 6 months now. And just today, exactly 6 months today, and today they have this very unfortunate news. Without wasting much time, I'm privileged to get the youth organizer here with me, even though when I came earlier, the information is that some party constituency executives have left for Accra to see the family, and do the arrangements in place, and then they will also be able to schedule that in that of the constituency and go the way forward. Chief, many thanks for joining me. Your name?
My name is Buhari Kumi.
And you are?
I'm the constituency.
All right. First of all, when did you hear of the demise of the member of parliament, and how is the party taking this?
Okay, I was in the house in the morning when my police were come, because I work with the youth employment agency. This morning, because I was doing 1 or 2 things, I didn't go to work early. So I was there when she called that she's getting a lot of messages that Ernest is war, or some others say that Ernest has died, blah blah blah. And I told her, forget about them. We were all expecting Ernest yesterday in the constituency, because he promised to come on Friday, because he has been away for very too long, for about 6 weeks now. He has not been in the constituency, because he's writing his law exams. So when I spoke to him a week today, he promised to come to the constituency on Friday. So on Friday we were all in waiting. So when later we were told that he had an emergency, he had an invitation from PAA constituency MP to a funeral, so he's leaving. So from there he will come on this thing on Saturday. We will make sure he'll be with us on Sunday for us to go for our constituency first vice chairman's daughter's wedding. So he normally comes in the night. So early in the morning, one of my boys called to find out whether Ernest is in town. I told him Ernest is not in town, so he should call the police officer, because he went to the police, the personal agent, to find out whether they were able to come on Sunday night. So he called, and the police officer told him that they are now about to set off to Akwetia. I said, okay, then we'll be waiting. So I told him by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, Ernest will be here. So we should wait. So when it was about around 1:30, I asked the boys to call the police officer back to find out where they put it. So the boy told me that on Saturday they didn't sleep early, so maybe they didn't set up early. So we should wait for Ernest. So we were prepared and took the lead to the marriage ceremony. It was there when some of the party people told me that Charlie, the seats are not many, so we should try and keep some seats for him. So I told them they should go and sit there. The DJ even announced that the 4 seats should be left for Ernest Kumi, when Ernest Kumi is on his way. So we're there. When one of the PA came to tell us that Ernest said he can't make it to the program, so he's going to Accra. So he has sent some money for us to go and represent, for us to donate on his behalf. Okay, so
we all went left after the program. And then I know, always in the constituency every weekend. And then Ernest will not go more than 2 weeks without being in the constituency. Because we're all missing. Even last Friday, one of the young people, they go over there, met me and say, the president, and Ernest on back. I was watching, so Ernest went out. Because he told me point that I didn't announce the party before that. His absence is because he's writing exams. And I said, Ernest went back. No, he didn't carry him. After the way they fear they were not. So we're all missing. The one is here. We all eat. We dine together. We do everything together.
So when did you hear this?
Yes. So as I said, it was first time when the girl called. I told him I should forget it because I don't think it is true. Because in the morning I spoke to the personal police officer because I told the police officer to talk to Ernest or something that we discussed. So he told me point blank, Ernest, and I say this morning, Ernest, I'm going to the court. I don't know what court again because there will not be any court that I will not be informed about it. And he told me he's going for his practical. I said, oh, okay.
That's today.
That's today.
Okay.
So
right.
So I left him, and also I was called on my nephew's no war at Cirrhosis Hospital.
Apia, you can hear me.
Let me go quickly go and fast and pray. Then I'll go for my nephew. So when I return for the month, I missed our secretary call. You see, I called back 2 minutes. I called back. What's happening? I've been told that Ernest is no more. I said, no, this thing is not true.
Okay.
I call our friend vice chairman, our former chairman, because he's very, very close to Ernest. He confirmed the news to us that Ernest is no more. It doesn't matter. Ernest was never sick. From what we are hearing now, that just tonight he was learning. He was learning towards a practical at the Ghana Law School. Yeah, the Ghana Law School this month. So when he was learning that, he called the wife and told him he was happy. So he was rushed to the hospital. He wouldn't go to the hospital.
Very well.
This early morning that was pronounced dead.
So where is the corpse as we speak?
I'm told the corpse has been deported to this Lashibi funeral.
The corpse?
Yeah, funeral just boom.
Okay.
We know Ernest comes from Achimwinchi, is that right?
So the very
so have you people been to his hometown?
No.
Too early yet?
Too early. No,
good. Now, I know that per the constitutional requirement, within 3 months, we're supposed to have a representation of the Akwetia constituency. Though this comes as a shock and very unfortunate. For the time being, were you having any plan B in place?
Let me tell you point B. Some of us, we know Ernest will be MP for 40. They need to be 40. Because we know the way he loves his constituency. We know the kind of plans that he has for the constituency. Because, I don't know, MP that comes to the constituency every week. If you talk to a lot of MPs, they don't believe that.
And when I came here, I've seen some women trying to play political games that seem to be accusing the MPs of trying to always drag this member of parliament to the law court. What is the party's position with respect to
can you hear me?
We know everything.
Can you hear me? Okay. We'll have to end Apia Kubi. Thank you so much, Apia Kubi. Apia Kubi seemed not to hear what I'm talking about. So that's the mood in the constituency as we speak. Very, 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 very sad incidents happening.